But it's interesting that you say that thing about the possession, taking care of the things, and if you're not, then it's time for it to go, kind of thing. But I do carry ashes with me as well, and it's almost like a well, it was a family member. My fur baby of just over 18 years, Levi. He is a feline, if you must know. I'm a cat person. Well, I've been warming up to dogs, but I've owned a couple of cats before I've owned a couple of dogs. Let's just say that. But yeah, I have him with me. I have, care for him, give him a spot that I know he would appreciate. Things like that is important when you're paring down things. But also my other theory is it has to have more than one purpose. It has to be either extremely useful or more than one purpose, like a versatility of some sort to come aboard, Yeah.
I hear that.
But another thing that influences that is what you tend to use day to day, and that kind of depends on how much you travel and how quick you travel and where you travel. Have you noticed a difference between the way you traveled? We can call it the style of travel. Why not? Have you noticed a style difference of the way you travel when you began? Because we should tell people we're both in our third year now, right? Yeah.
Yes, we're in
2 years in the bag.
In the bag.
So you do notice a difference? Because I've definitely changed it up.
Do you know what has changed remarkably for me is that I'm a whole lot more relaxed right now.
Yeah.
I think I was real tense for the first 18 months. Just getting used. I pull a trailer, so, I take that very seriously. I had when I first, there are some things I don't think are going to ever change. I don't have an idea where I'm going. I might have a clue about 6 months in advance, and after that, I don't know. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back and forth across the United States, exploring and seeing stuff.
You're more of a mosier, aren't you?
And I do mosey. I'm not in a rush to get anywhere, but my first year was just practicing pulling my rig. I did meet up with family who was traveling, their weekend warriors, and so I rendezvoused with them.
Cool.
And that was fun, and they got me into other states, Wyoming and South Dakota, and yes, I have been through there. I have family and friends in Alabama and Tennessee. So I went there, and then, heading down to have family in Texas. So I was just practicing pulling and visiting people that hadn't seen for a while. The second year, I came across volunteers.gov, and I decided to volunteer at wildlife refuges. It gives me something to do. I'm not a good aimless person. I don't do aimless well, and I'm not a tourist kind of person either. And when you've worked for 50 years, how do you not work anymore? I haven't figured that one out. But so I volunteer at wildlife refuges a couple times a year, and in between, I go and boondock and decompress. Actually, I say that tongue in cheek. refuges I've been on have been very remote. I can go days without seeing anyone, and that's okay. But
it gives you purpose, you know, that you're needed.
And it makes me
and
feel
responsibility,
relevant.
right? Yeah.
I have the responsibility. Somebody depends on me. I volunteer, so I don't have a boss. When I do meet people who are staff, they smile. They're very happy that I've shown up. And
so you volunteer, but then do you get anything for that, or how long do you do that for?
I get full hookups, and I usually work 2 to 3 months.
And you can determine that, or is that gig by gig?
I'm still new to this. This is my 3rd gig, and I'm going to be going down to Florida for another one. But yeah, they're about, usually they're 3 to 5 months. I did have a 2-month gig.
So that definitely slows you down, though.
Yeah, but
you were moving quicker than that the first year.
I was booking the first year, and I think it was just nerves. Not that I was going anywhere fast. I was, moseying across the country, again, just practicing driving in all kinds of different types of weather. Just getting used to pulling a travel trailer.
Getting the miles under the belt.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that first year I probably had maybe 20,000.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, 25,000 miles.
I know I had 25,000. I know I cleared 25,000 miles in my first year. Because I'm from Washington State, and we went straight south to Arizona, booked it for the warmer weather, and then went, okay, we're here. Now what? Where else do we want to go? I mean, the world is our oyster kind of thing. And so then we head straight to Florida.
Nice.
And that was, or maybe it was the second trip to Florida. We came back and went back. So that's how you get 25,000 miles, is you go corner to corner to the other corner of the United States and back again, but definitely booked it. Very ambitious. I don't know why. Maybe I thought there would never be a vaccination. We're all going to die. I don't know. I qualified for unemployment, so there was cash flow. It was easy to put the money in the gas tank.
Right.
And that's probably why the second year contrast, there was a difference. I've kind of slowed over the years. I'm even slower now than I was before in the second year. The second year, I still think I was stretching my muscle, trying to figure out what suits me. It was periods of solo RVing, so I got to call my own shots, and didn't have to confer with anybody else, didn't have to compromise with anybody else, appease anybody else's comfort levels. I could just go or not, or go as fast as I want or slow as I wanted, on and off in that year. And I also loosened up more on my level of planning as far as my trips, because in the beginning I wanted to know exactly where I was going to be, each night, and is there gas, water, things like that in between the spots that that I may need. And now, I mean, propane, schmopane, that's anywhere. We can get that. You might not like the price, but because I've stopped my life and ran out of the way to go get it,
Right.
and so there is, a certain amount of planning, but then there's certain things that you can just kind of let go and trust
Right.
yourself.
Trust the process. I am very just much more relaxed. I'm not moving around as much.
I think because I pick better spots now, don't you think? We want to stay longer because I pick better spots. That's why I stay longer, you know?
Yeah, that is a big part of it. Absolutely. I came across, I went for a hike this morning, came across some hikers that were from Germany, and we got to talking, and we were about this, I think I was probably maybe a little bit older than they, but I told them, yes, I'm an RV volunteer here at the refuge, and they thought that was pretty interesting. But in the course of talking about, they were interested in what I was doing, I said, yeah, I get up in the morning when I'm traveling, and the only thing I know is what direction I'm going. I don't know anything else. I have no idea where I'm going to be that night.
Or if it's going to be paved or not, or anything.
I don't know. I don't know. We live in a great big country, and you know, if there's nothing else, I can just pull off on the side road and I'll just sit there.
Yeah, everything you need, right? Yeah.
I have everything I need.
You don't need a vending machine. You don't need a restroom.
No, we carry everything. You think about
a restaurant. Cool. We don't need a restaurant. We don't need any of it.
This is the cool thing about RV life is that you have arrived. It's all about the journey. It's not about the destination. It's in everything you have is you carry with you, and it's just the most delightful thing.
You know, one thing I don't pack that often though.
What's that?
A lunch. Maybe if I'm taking a day trip away from the RV, but that's rare, you know. Bike ride, but yeah, I hardly pack a lunch. So when I got to pack a day bag or something, I'm kind of frazzled because usually the RV goes with me, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I feel like a hermit crab. Everything I want, everything I need is with me, and it doesn't make any difference. And I've stayed in some really interesting places, and it's just an amazement, and it's a journey. It's a delight. It's been a delightful journey.
I'm just not. Yeah, the only thing that suffered is because I work online now. I can't be as adventurous and go a night or two without cell service unless it's, you know, planned over the weekend. You know.
Right.
But that's the only thing that's really changed as far as the factors of me planning which way I'm heading next.
Right. Because now you're a working woman.
Right. But I would do this again. I would be in the same situation. I would be in the same rig. I would be in the same wrinkle of life. I wouldn't change a thing, you know.
I'm right with you there, sis. I wouldn't change a thing. I love my rig. I love my life. I am happy. I'm a happy woman.
Even the setbacks didn't,
No,
I'm grateful for those as well, you know?
It's just part of living. My job is my rig. My job is my life.
Mm-hmm.
That is my job now.
And that's what it should be.
And shit happens. I had problems with pack rats.
Like the nightmare of any RVer. The nightmare.
Yes.
It is the nightmare. And that'll probably be one whole conversation. We won't have to talk about anything else.
We can talk about pack rats. We can talk about rats. But I was thinking to myself, well, I wasn't upset about it. It's like, well, if I was taking care of children, if I had dinners to make for other people and laundry to do and classes to get children to and the demands of a husband, I would probably be freaking out.
Yeah. The rats would be the end all be all. It would be white flag time.
Zero other responsibilities. And so the pack rats they were just part of the ups and downs and the adventures of being on the road and having an RV and doing the nomadic thing. No, I was well equipped to deal with them and make the repairs. So
and learned a few things in the process.
And learned some new skills in the process. But again, my life is just taking care of my life. I have zero other responsibilities, and that makes a huge difference.
Right. I don't have kids or pets.
I was cognizant of that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, shoot, if this happened 20 years ago and I had children that I had to make considerations for, this would not be good. But that's not the case. So I was okay with it.
And everybody's different. Somebody else might be in a different wrinkle in their life as far as like kids or empty homes, things like that.
I feel for people when they have other responsibilities.
Yeah.
It's when you have something that, if you're in a sticks and bricks house and you have the hot water heater go out, you have other people that are, need this thing. And you have their stresses and their anxiety to
and you're responsible for that,
You're responsible.
Yeah.
And so,
if you're uncomfortable, oh well, and you can decide, I'm going to be uncomfortable this long, or maybe a little longer, or I can't stand to be uncomfortable.
Talk about this. We've roughed it. You and I individually.
Oh yeah, we've called each other and needed a crutch or a vent session.
And no, it's.
We're human though. That's all it is.
We're human, but it's not anything that we can't deal with or overcome. And again, you just don't have anyone else to worry about. So yeah. So I'm very, very happy.
Yeah, in this day and age, it's easy to get counsel, with electronics and cell phones and, yeah.
You're not alone.
True.
I know we call ourselves solo women campers, but, we're not really alone, not really. So
technically solo physically, but
yes.
In reality, we're technically not.
No,
the world is very small now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
we've been talking in a while.
I definitely do it again, and it's almost like when people ask, do you have any regrets? It's like I hardly have any regrets in my life, and so I don't look backwards to dig up the negatives, I guess. But some people would prefer to have their RV gone through, by a technician or something, a mechanic. And I felt rushed. I felt like I needed to jump, so I did that after the fact because it probably wouldn't have changed anything. The point is that no one has that crystal ball to tell you that your transmission seal is going to go, or
Right.
Things are going to malfunction on you, and some things you cause yourself. We kind of hit on that before, where some things you just don't know, and you're the cause of it.
That's another conversation.
But is there anything you would do differently as far as, deciding to transition and then, liquidating? Anything you would have went, oh, did you say, oh, crap, I shouldn't have got rid of that?
No.
Oh.
I don't have any I have no regrets. Did everything I do, did it turn out perfect? No. But no,
It's put me where I am now. You know what I mean?
It's put me where I am now, and this is a good place. I have had a wonderful journey. I hope to have another year-long journey. Not sure what all is going to be in it, but it's going to be exciting.
Wait, you're saying you have a whole year planned out? Just the general directions you're going?
I have the next 6 months.
Oh, okay.
I know where I'm going to be, but that can change.
Right. Well, you're flexible. You just know the regions that you're going to be in.
Exactly, and I'm looking forward to the next meetup we have in Quartzsite.
Yes.
Because we're going to have a whole nother year. I mean, an exciting year too.
To share, but also to hear, from all the other ladies that keep returning. Oh.
And I follow them all on Facebook and our message groups.
That's right.
And I love hearing where they're at and seeing their pictures. It's really wonderful.
Yes, it's nice to catch up. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a perfect way to end it. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
And this has been a wonderful conversation, Jen.
Thank you, Terry. It was nice having this kind of going back to the basics and learning still some things about you I didn't know.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Have a good evening.